Hello everybody, E here. Welcome to a top 5 Joe Hill list. And despite popular belief, I am not currently wearing a wetsuit. I am just a very greasy man. Let's jump right into the list.
Number 5!
So at number 5, at the bottom of this list of top 5 Joe Hill books, top 5 because he finally has 5 novels to do a list like this, is The Fireman. This is nothing but Stephen King's The Stand with a fresh coat of paint. It has a deaf character named Nick. I'm not laughing at the character being deaf. I'm laughing at the fact that this book has that. There are going to be spoilers, slight spoilers, but mostly just for the ending of this one. So if you will, click away or swipe forward 10 seconds in 3, 2, 1. This book ends with the hand of God saving the day. Yes. It also has a character who you find out toward, I believe toward the end, that her nickname is Franny, as in, you know, it's The Stand with a fresh coat of paint, but without all of the cool stuff, like, the tunnel, and literally the kid, and literally everything that made The Stand good is gone from this. This is a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad book. And I'm not alone in feeling that way. If you're a Joe Hill fan, I'm sorry, but this book sucks.
Number 4!
At number 4, we have the beginning of the good books. And you heard me right. Everything else on this list is good, which is why The Fireman made absolutely no sense. It was just an Easter egg fest for Stephen King fans. But Joe Hill is his own author, so I did not expect that. Also, he did not expect... Anyways, I'm just going to keep going down the list of things I don't like about The Fireman, but this is about a list of things I do like about Joe Hill. And number 4 is Heart-Shaped Box. This is about an aged musician named Judas Coyne, who buys a dead man's suit off of eBay, and the suit is supposedly haunted. It gets much deeper down the rabbit hole than that, but it's an absolutely stellar premise, and I love this book. It also has, I believe ages ago, probably about 10 years ago, I did a video of my top 5 scariest scenes, not scariest, most disturbing scenes. And there's a scene in here with someone sitting in a chair in a hallway, or at the end of a hallway, that is absolutely terrifying to me. The only thing to rival it is the scene across the bridge in Night Film. If you know, you know. But I love this book, but I only give it 4 stars. Because it is lacking. It is definitely a first novel and has all the trappings of such. But yeah, number 4, Heart-Shaped Box.
Number 3!
Okay, at number 3, we have the first of the 5-star books, and that is Horns. I read this book before I even knew who Joe Hill was, as in he was Stephen King's son. Now, according to everybody on the internet, I was the last person to find out. I also wasn't reading much Stephen King at the time that this book came out, but after reading this, I said to myself, that was awfully familiar. That felt like someone else I have been a lifelong fan of, and I couldn't put 2 and 2 together. I had a paperback copy that I had found at a thrift store that was absolutely falling apart. I still have it around here somewhere. If I can find it before the end of the video, then I will show you guys. But I got it at a thrift store. It was falling apart. I read it because I loved the premise. It is about a character named Ig, or Ignatius, who wakes up one day with horns. And the wild madcap race to the end of this book is just that. It is madfuck. It is insane. And I love the premise. I love everything about it. The love story, the tragedy of it all, and the ending. I love every bit of this book. But like I said, at the end of, upon finishing this, I was like, why do I know this style? So I went looking for, as I always do, and I always have done, even before I had this channel, if I read a paperback or I listen to an audiobook and that book is great, I go out looking for the hardcover. And this is the hardcover that I came across. And the eBay listing literally said, Horns by Joe Hill, son of Stephen King.
Number 2!
Longtime fans, viewers, whatever you want to call the people that watch this show that I do, will be surprised at this next book, because it was, up until recently, I'm already giving it away, it was, up until recently, one of my top 5 books of all time. It was number 3. If you want to know my top 3 books of all time, that would be Stephen King's It at number 1, Donna Tartt's The Goldfinch at number 2, and previously, NOS 4A2 or Nosferatu by Joe Hill. This book is flawless. Same with Horns. I have no notes, none whatsoever. This story is so compelling to me, and Christmasland is one of those once-in-a-lifetime ideas, and I'm glad we got to visit it even more in the Wraith comic book or graphic novel that came out with this. Shortly after this, I had unfortunately had to sell my limited edition recently due to financial issues, but I had the NOS 4A2 limited edition and the graphic novel all in one book, and it was the prize, one of the prizes of my collection. Sadly, someone else got it. I hope they're loving it. But yeah, this was top 3 book for me. The imagination was off the chain. There was some very few nods to his father. There was nods to Pennywise. There was nods to Midworld. And this is about the time that the number 1 book started to make more sense to me. And the reason for that is Joe Hill has his own version of Midworld or Thinnies or whatever, and they're called inscapes. Basically, it is pathways from one place to another. And in this one, the car, the Rolls-Royce Phantom, I believe it was, for me was the star of the show, but not so much the car, but as the villain. I cannot, for the life of me, remember the main character's name. I really do need to reread this, but I will never forget the incomparable Charlie Manx.
Number 1!
And here we are at number 1. If you know Joe Hill at all, you already know what this book is, so I will not take up any more of your time. It is his newest release, King Sorrow, and this book has easily replaced NOS 4A2 on my top 3 of all time. This book is unfettered imagination. This book has some of the coolest scenes I have ever read, period. The trip down into the tunnels to Arthur's Steps, the airplanes, just the villain himself, or maybe, if you want to call him the villain, I think other people were the villain. The ones that were using King Sorrow were the true villains. Was he a good creature? No, but he was just the product of their imaginations. This book, the character development, the pacing, I mean, it is a 900-page book. It is a 900-page book, and I have read some 300-page books. Some 300 and 400-page books. Some 300 and 400-page books recently that did not read as fast as this 900-page book. I am in awe. I am flabbergasted. I am impressed. So my number 5 position definitely, easily, goes to King Sorrow. And Joe Hill, whatever you have coming out next, I am here for it. Let's just try not to do another Fireman. But until next time, I have been E, you have been you. This has been another Top 5 review. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye!